Yeah, so for the Discord bot, I'm no professional by all means. I think the first time I actually made this was around November for our feeder hackathon, Pickle Hack, which we also organize. And what we thought of as a team was just to make like a little fun bot since we were hosting Pickle Hack or the hackathon on Discord. So we're just like, maybe we should try to entertain the hackers and have some like free time, like let them relax, let them talk more in the Discord, have fun in the Discord. And we thought the best way to do that was to make a Discord bot. And it was also like sort of our mini project to our hackathon since we can't participate since we're organizers. So we were just like, we might as well make a little project, something we have fun doing, and hopefully everyone else that used it had fun doing. So that's mostly where all my knowledge came from. There's a lot of great documentation and great resources online, and I think definitely searching it up if you're really interested in making one. There's plenty of resources available. I list some of the resources, but I'm sure just a quick Google search, you'll definitely find a bunch. And that's where I mainly learned how to make a Discord bot. But yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen a good amount of people come in here, and we're about time. So if you want to go ahead and kick us off.
Great. Hi, guys. I'm Andrew Lee, and I'm here to present how to make a Discord bot. I'm part of the logistics team member, and I am a comp sci major at S&T. Even though I'm a comp sci major, I might not do the best job in presenting on how to make a Discord bot. So, I've did this for like twice the past few times. So I'm gonna try my best to make it beginner friendly and just let you guys know the setup and the ins and outs with just starting your first Discord bot, or maybe not even your first Discord bot. Maybe this is like a review session or something like that. But to get with it, here's our overview for this presentation. It's going to be setup, libraries, important keywords, and APIs. And basically, for the setup, we're going to go in depth on just like how to get the environment ready and how to just authenticate and start up your Discord bot. Libraries, we're just going to talk about what libraries to import. If you guys couldn't tell, this is going to be written in Python. I'm sure you can use JavaScript, but in this case, for simplicity's sake, we're going to use Python. And some important keywords. I'm just gonna talk about some keywords that you should know when you're starting off with the Discord bot or making a Discord bot. And then some APIs. This is just more of like, here's some references that maybe you guys would like to use for the upcoming hackathon. Again, this presentation with how to make a Discord bot, you could definitely try to implement a Discord bot into the hackathon. I know that previously for our feeder hackathon, Pickle Hack, which I mentioned before, there were a few submissions from Discord bots, and they were pretty awesome. There's one that was like a voice changer, and they implemented, and they some voice changers, voice filters, or some text generator to let some like Homer Simpson or some cartoon character say a phrase. So definitely think about when I'm presenting this, definitely think about what maybe potential projects you could do with this stuff. So for the setup, account, application, bot, and guild. So for your account, you'll obviously need a Discord account. And if you have a Discord account, what you would have to do is access the developer portal. And that's going to be key in you creating your application. So after I talk more about this, I'm going to walk you guys through on how to just set this Discord bot up. And this Python language, you're going to have, I think Python 3.8 is the most compatible. Python 3.9 is a little iffy since it's still a little new, I guess, but I think 3.8 is definitely super compatible. Developer portal, like I said, is going to be key to making your Discord bot. And then these next three bullets, the auth, the Discord token, and the permissions, we can go more in depth on that when I show you the developer portal right now. So here you see my developer portal. Basically, all you have to do is just search up Discord developer portal and it'll pop up, probably the first thing that comes up. And as you can see, you have applications here. So what you would want to do is first you want to create a new application. We'll name this, let's say, PreHacks 2021 Discord bot. This is a pretty long name. That's okay because I think this will not show up when you implement the bot into your server. I think when you actually implement the bot, you name it separately. So right here, you're just going to see the application ID, public key, blah, 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 all of this. But here's where you want to go. You would want to go to the bot settings and you'd want to add a bot. So what this will do is just make your application a bot application and just specify that this is a bot. For learning purposes, the token, this is basically your password for the bot. You definitely do not want anyone to find this token. You want to keep it secret because if you don't keep it secret, they can basically just hack your account. Well, not hack your account, but hack your bot and just do a bunch of weird stuff with it. So just make sure you keep that secret. If you were to ever upload this to GitHub, make sure to delete the token before and keep your token local. You can also, I think there's a way to set up environment variables. So you can definitely keep that even more secret, which I do suggest if you're comfortable with that.
Andrew.
What up?
Eric had a question. Can Java be used to make the bots?
Can Java be used? I'm not familiar with that. I think this tutorial is mainly for Python because we're going to be talking about the libraries, and this is mainly just a Python library and a JavaScript library. I'm sure you can search up if Java can be used, but all I know is that Python and JavaScript are the two most common tools or languages used for creating a Discord bot.
Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, feel free to ask questions while I'm presenting this, just so that ideally, I would like you guys to try and follow through with this. I know it's going to be a lot of information to just comprehend since I'm just dishing out all of this, but tell me if my pace is too fast or too slow. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Feel free to ask. So anyways, what we're going to do here, we have our bot. And these are just some bot permissions, but that won't really matter, I don't think, because what we're going to do is set up the authentication for the bot. So what we're going to do here, you can see these scopes. You can see that all of these are just some scopes that are irrelevant except for the bot. So what we'd want to do is click the bot, and here are the bot permissions. So typically with bot permissions, I find it pretty easy to use administrator. But if you know specifically what permissions you need, I suggest you to just select them individually instead of the administrator. But administrator just makes it easier so that it can join many channels and just be able to do whatever, and you don't have to mess around with permissions. So anyways, we're going to click administrator, and here's our URL. And this is important in being able to authorize our bot to, or select what server our bot would like to be in. So we just authenticate that. So we'll just copy this URL, go on the next tab, and as you can see that it just pops up with this, and it's just like add to server. So what we want to do is add it to a test server. Now, if you don't have a test server, what you should do is just go into your Discord, click on add server. You can just create my own, and then just for me and my friends. And I think it should be able to pop up and be able to, as long as you're the owner or had administrative permissions, you can add it to your server. So let's add it to my test server, which is just basically my username. And I'll just, basically you just click this. Now you can see this dialog. It's just saying that my Discord bot has been, is in my server now. So as you can see, the PreHacks 2021 Discord bot. All right, sweet. So that's just basically the setup for the just getting your Discord bot into your Discord server. Next, we're going to talk about libraries, what you should have when you are making your Discord bot. Again, we're going to mainly be we're going to use Python for this Discord bot. I think you can use JavaScript, but for Python, it's just going to be easier. What we want to do here, let me just get rid of this. You'd want to open up your command prompt, and what you'd want to do is basically you'd want to install discord.py and the .env. I'm just going to show you guys for tutorial's sake what to type. I'll also type it in the chat. So for now, I'm just going to do pip install -u discord.py. And this will just say that I already have all the requirements. And then we'll also install pip install python.in, which also says that we have the requirements. So I'm going to type that in for you guys, just in case any of you guys are trying to follow through with this tutorial. Great. So now when you have that set up, you would want to create a directory, just a folder, and where you would store your Discord bot. So for me, I think mine falls under this. CD. Let's use bot presentation. Sweet. So once you're in the directory, I don't think you would use your command prompt anymore. But also note that GitHub is also a great library. You don't have to use a command prompt to install the repos, but you just want to read the files, read the repos, make sure that you know how to set it up. And if you can set it up, you can find some really crazy cool libraries like voice recognition, voice filter, and some Spotify, YouTube. I know Discord bot has a lot of APIs in which you can do that, but I know GitHub is a great resource in which you can just find something that you would like, something that you need that's like open source, and implement that into your Discord bot, making it a little bit more complex. So when you have that, you would want to create two files. You would want to create your bot.py, which will be your main file. This is where you're going to mostly run all of your code and type up all your code. And then you also have a .env file. So this file basically just gets the environment variables, and that's why we have to install .env. So the environment variables falls under important keywords. So now important keywords, we have, as you can see, we have Discord token and Discord guild. Now guild is just a fancier way of saying this is a server, and the token is basically your password for the bot. So for our sake, let me just put in my Discord token. So what we would have here is like your bot token, right? But hopefully you guys won't hack into that. I'm just gonna put it off to the side to make sure that that does not happen. me see. Okay. Developer portal. Yeah, so for the token, you would just want to go to bot, copy. You want to paste your token. Great. So next, we're going to be coding a little bit. So we're going to be into our bot.py file. We'd want to import the OS, and we want to import Discord. We'd also want to import the .inf that we installed into our Python. Now, basically, we're going to go line by line. I'm going to try and explain line by line what each command or what each line does. So load.env just basically loads the environmental, it loads the environment. And then this token here, we're just going to say, hey, let's get this environment variable Discord token, which we put in our .env file. Now we're just going to set, I think, our client to commands .bot command prefix equal to this. So again, you don't need to, the thing you can change this prefix. So you know how, if you guys haven't used Discord, if you guys have never came across the Discord bot, how you would call commands is basically like, you would just say, hey, exclamation point help or exclamation point command, right? And what this does is basically set the prefix to your exclamation point. And you can change this to $signs, you can change this to hashtag, but I think for familiarity purposes, everyone typically uses an exclamation point for the commands. So definitely keep that there. Next, we're going to have some modules, and these modules are pretty important. So what I'm typing up right here just specifies what this module exactly does. So what this means is basically this is an event that we're gonna type up, and I'll explain that later since there's other modules that you guys can define. So async is just basically what discord.py runs under or uses. OnReady is basically an essential for every Discord bot. This is just saying like, hey, it's confirmed that the Discord bot is ready. So we'll just say client user. This is just saying, hey, this is your Discord bot's name as connected to Discord. Here we go. And at the end, we'd want to run the client with the token. So now you can see that it's offline. We're just going to run the bot. Did I misspell it? Yes, I did. Dote. Commands dot. Oh, I forgot to import another important library. If you want to have this prefix before every command, you'd basically want to import the commands library. So now this should work. As you can see, it says that our bot has connected to Discord and it's online now, which basically you have two ways of checking. One way, if you have the OnReady, it'll just say it's connected. Another way, just to check your Discord client and see if it's up. So now that it's up, let's verify. Let's make some commands. Let's have some fun with this, just to make sure that it's just not a useless bot. So what we'll do here, we'll just Control C just to close out of the bot. Let's make some commands. So here, let's do a fun one where it's like every time you say hi. Oh yeah, does anyone have any command ideas?
You can continue on with what you were doing. I just figured that some people might have ideas too.
Maybe they don't want to share right now because they're going to use it for their hackathon. Who knows? What is a client event? This basically just says that this module, this function that we created is an event. So there's different types of modules. One of them is command. Now, this basically specifies that this, whatever your function name is, like let's say def website, right? You're going to, if you want to use this command, you're going to have to use this prefix here. So the exclamation prefix. But for the event, this just automatically happens on any circumstance or any event. Does that make sense? Yeah. Great. Yeah, feel free to ask more questions if anything confuses you. But let's do a simple one just to show you guys just how stuff works, I guess, or how the bot works. So there's a command. If you guys read up on the documentation, I highly suggest if you guys do create a Discord bot to definitely search up on the documentation. Just read. You don't have to read it, but just find what you're looking for. That really helps as a reference sheet. It's like basically a cheat sheet when you're coding up a Discord bot. So what this does is for every message, we're going to see every message sent in the Discord server. And we have a variable type, well, not variable type, but we have a variable message. And what we're going to do is every time anyone says hi, any member says hi, we're going to let the bot reply hello, just so that we don't feel lonely. So for this, we're going to have if the message.content. So this .content gets the string, that gets the content of the message. This message isn't, I don't think it's stored as a string initially. I think it's stored as just like a dictionary or a hash map, and you'd have to access what exactly you typed up. So if you want to specifically see what the person typed, you would want to do message.content or variable.content. And we'll say if it's equal to hi. Now this is very specific, like with any Boolean statement, it's going to do exactly like how it looks, right? So if you do like capital H and then hi, then it's not going to reply. So what we're going to do here is await message.channel.send hello. Every time you see an async in the function, you'd always want to use an await every time you send something or do something send something to the server. The reason being is because let's say we'd want to send like multiple stuff, right? Like let's say we have 2 messages in the queue to send. Then we don't know how to, because it'll be instantaneous, right? We don't know which one has priority. So what we want to do is await. And that just makes it so that like the next process will happen once the current process finishes. But just for good coding practices, every time you have an async function, just use await whenever you try to do something. So let's see this in action. Let's run our bot file. Oh, websites. Okay, we'll just run our bot file. Now it says that it is up. Let's go back to Discord. Let's say hi. Now our Discord bot says hello. So, I mean, you can spam hi and it immediately replies, but for some commands, I remember our bot for PickleHack, which was just PickleBot, we had like a little gambling ring, not a gambling ring, but it's just more of like rolling dice and just seeing if you can actually get any money from it. Well, not money, but digital score, that like fake money. It's just pickles. But yeah, sometimes the bot can be overloaded and it'll be a little slow. So just know that it's not instantaneous. But again, that's if you guys spam the bot a lot. So yeah. We here at PickleHacks or PickHacks does not condone. Yeah, we do not condone gambling money at all. Yeah. You heard it here first. Okay, next we're going to describe a module command. So this is going to be a command, and know that we're going to have to use this command prefix if we're going to want to use a command. So what we have here, we can just use website. Yeah, sure. So we're going to send a website to in the Discord server. I think we're going to have a variable. We're just going to say CTX. You can do whatever variable you want, but for me, it's just more of like a cool way to have a variable. And also, I just see a lot of people use it. So again, since this is an async variable, async function, we'd want to follow it up with await. And we'll just say, like previously with our message, we just did message and then send. This time we could just do context.send because we're not looking for we're not going to send it in the specific channel, because I think when it gets called in the command, it'll already know what channel it's in. So we'll just say here is the website. Maybe I can include a link. To be honest, I always forget if they actually send a link in a link format where you could just click it, or you just have to, I think it'll just send as a link. Even though it's a string, I think it'll send as a link. So again, let's run our bot. You can see that it's connected and it's online. So let's do website. As you can see, it doesn't work because I didn't use the command prefix. This isn't like the event on message. This is a command that we specified. So now we'll just add the exclamation point as a prefix. What the? Interesting. Let's see. Maybe I do have to do channel.send. Did I change anything? It's very awkward. Let's take a look at the pickle bot. So I can show you guys something like that. So here, basically we just wrote up a bunch of stuff. We have this command here. We're just going to do that. Right. Okay. Now I see what's going on. I think what we'd have to do here is I'm not entirely sure, but I'll show you how our picklebot ran via commands. So what we did here was, let me run this picklebot. So what we did here, let's find a command that we created here. So we have register, and this basically just registers you a pseudo account where you have given amount of money that, or given amount of pickles that you have to sort of test your luck and try and get more pickles, I guess. So you can see that the pickle bot's up. We're just going to do register. And it says I already have an account. That's just because I already registered before. So from there, we can just say we have other commands like this, which is leaderboard. This is pretty cool because it actually has a cool little UI. As you can see, you have like the green little thing, and then it's just like a little colored and kind of clear to see. And you can use the .embed, which a lot of the functions or a lot of the methods are in the discord.py. Again, I think it's really important to reference the documentation. It's very helpful, especially when you're coding. And yeah. So some APIs, I'll show you guys some of these APIs. So getting started with the APIs, if you guys are comfortable with this stuff, this is a very beginner-friendly website where you can just, here, wait, let me link these. These are very beginner-friendly websites where you can just sort of get an idea or a glimpse as to how you can sort of send data to an API and then just have that do something for you. So if we go to API reference, you can see that there's some cool ones, like one is Spotify, is the Discord Spotify, so it's compatible with Discord, just to see like what activity, or if you were to embed some song, like send a link to some song, and then you can play it through the channel. So that's just one of the cool APIs and cool models that they have. What is an API? I think Jose can talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah, sure. I can try to do that. So API stands for application. What is it? Application like program interface.
I think so. Yeah.
And so what an API does is, so like the example that that Andrew said. What is it? Application programming interface. Okay, so what? So for example, if you said that you had an API for Spotify, what that would basically mean is that Spotify, the company, like developers at Spotify, have opened up and made some of the functionality with Spotify public for you to use. And so that means that you can take, there's documentation for, Spotify's API, I'm sure, that you can then find functions to run. Maybe there's like a next button, a next function, and a skip function, things like that you can then call in your code. So let's say you made a website, you made a Discord bot to run a playlist of songs. Then you could call, whatever function Spotify has allowed, and then run that in your code. And so that the between Spotify's code, like way over here, in whatever language that they do, and your code, that's what an API is basically. You being able to access their code. So for example, I know Google Maps and like Google Calendar and those and other like Google products, they have APIs to be able to call on their products. So you can embed a map into your, like a Google Maps into your website. YouTube, you can embed videos, or you can have some sort of functionality with that. And so that's basically in a general sense, that's one of the definitions of an API, where you're essentially using other code that you didn't write, that companies and other projects and products have opened up to let you use it in your code how you see fit. So you don't have to write, how do I skip a song in Spotify, or how do I zoom in and out of a Google map. They have that for you. Or how do you find an address, right? They have that for you. All you have to do is call that code, import their libraries, or connect to their server somehow, and that'll be through the documentation. So for example, with Discord, all of the client.event and all these client.commands, those are APIs that allow you to use Discord code, because people at Discord, like developers at Discord, are also using some of these commands and or code lines to create any announcements they might need to do, or when they're creating the framework for people like us to make Discord bots. So yeah, that's kind of an overview of APIs, in at least in my sense of it. There are other definitions of it, like how other people use them, but generally it's basically using like other people's code that they have opened up for you, and then using that in your own code for whatever project you might be making. Hopefully that didn't confuse you, because yeah, API is one of those like weird, at least for me when I was first starting out with like creating projects and just kind of doing a whole bunch of Googling. API is one of those terms that nobody really like defines in a practical sense. It's all like theoretical, like, oh, it's this kind of coding concept, but like in a theoretical sense, when somebody just throws out, oh, use that API or use this API, like there's not a concrete like definition. And so to me, the concrete definition is like the code that you can use that is Spotify's, kind of like importing a library and whatnot. So yeah, of course.
Yeah. Another prime example, I'm sure you guys encountered this. It's like logging in with your Gmail or Facebook or something. Like there's existing code for that, and they're just opening it up so that it's just easier for registration. You're just sending data, and the application's allowing you to sign up via the Gmail or Facebook. So are there any other questions? Don't be scared to ask. And also, if you guys don't have any questions currently, but if you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask in the PreHacks chat. Or PreHacks is definitely just a way for us to get to know you guys and just figure out what you guys need help on. We're here to help. And definitely during the hackathon, feel free to ask. We're going to try our best to help you guys too. Are you hosting the bot on like a server? So about that, yeah. So regarding hosting the bot, you can actually host it on an AWS server. But the thing is, you don't really want to pay that much money to just host, such a simple bot, unless it's like something really intricate. But I think Discord bots are fairly simple and they don't need that much hardware to run. So what I do is just run it on my command prompt. So basically, I think during the hackathon the last hackathon, Pickle Hack, what I had to do is just have my laptop just run the whole time, run 24/7 by just letting the command prompt just do its thing. So I just basically hosted it from my computer. Yeah, you can host it from a virtual server or a cloud server, but I don't advise that because you do spend money on it. But if you want to do that and sort of relieve your computer or relieve your laptop, by all means, go for it. Yeah, no problem.
To a question earlier about can Java be used? Just to clarify that JavaScript can definitely be used. There's this JavaScript specific guide for creating a Discord bot in JavaScript, which I'll link here. This is the JavaScript version of it. A lot of this stuff is similar. You have your context events, you have your command section. With JavaScript, though, there's just a little bit more object-oriented work that you have to do. It might get a little jumbled because you'd have to run multiple things on top of just running straight up JavaScript. Versus with Python, it's a lot easier to just do Python bot.py and then have everything there.
Does the bot see everywhere in Discord or only limited to specific areas? Yeah, so regarding that, that ultimately depends on the owner who authorizes the Discord bot. So, or any administrators that authorize it. So again, you can specify what the Discord bot can or cannot see or can or cannot do. So that's why it's not the best way to just like say, hey, I'm going to give this bot administrative properties, right? Because that could basically delete the whole server if you were to expose your token, right? But sometimes it is definitely better to individually select what permissions this bot can or cannot do, right? Like, can it kick someone out? That's up for you to decide. If you click administrative properties or the administrator permission, he has all the permissions. So if you do want that to happen, you can basically just specify what the bot can or cannot do via permissions. The bot can it see everywhere in Discord? That again deals with the permissions. So if it's an administrator, it can see all the channels. Yeah. But if it has some other properties, like if you want it to specifically be in one channel, you'd have to individually figure out the permissions for that. That's a great question. Always wanted to make a Discord bot. This is a great intro. Yeah, I want to make one now too. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what projects you guys have in this upcoming hackathon. I'm really excited. Yeah, and if you guys have any questions, just again, feel free to ask us. Fortunately, the Discord documentation is very, very great. There's a lot of contributors, so definitely check those out too. Let me type up some references. So
while you do that, I was going to say it's very verbose on the JavaScript side. So depending on which language you want to use. And one thing that I've seen before with other people's projects is you can try to incorporate Discord bots into a bigger project if you wanted to as well. I know Discord bots, you can make, depending on how quick you make them, you can probably make a couple, and rather than making a couple of Discord bots, you can probably incorporate a Discord bot into a bigger project that you might be thinking of. So just a thought to put out there.
But yeah, do you guys have any more questions? Feel free to ask. Just not the hard ones, please, though.
On top of questions about a Discord bot, if you guys have any any questions that you guys have come up with about PreHacks in general, feel free to ask him here as well. We can just transition right into just the general Q&A section. Yeah, we're ready to answer any questions of that. So Andrew asks, where should I start since I'm someone who barely knows any Python, let alone JavaScript? I guess, so here's the thing. I don't think personally you can go wrong picking one language or the other. It's at that point personal preference. But I think it'd be something to think about as to how in my opinion Python is easier to read, and on top of that probably easier to debug in that case. So if that's something to you, that might be a pushing point. It might be whichever one you're more comfortable starting out with. If you barely know Python, but maybe zero JavaScript, maybe that's a reason to dip more into Python because you're a little familiar. Or on the flip side, you jump into JavaScript because you know none of it. And I mean, that's part of kind of where hackathons come into play, where you just jump into something you don't know, and that's kind of everybody with you. I think also in the beginning minutes of in the beginning, I guess, hours of PreHacks, you can test out one, like do start with Python, and you can switch to the other if you find that you're having trouble with doing JavaScript stuff. Maybe as well, on top of that, you can also, if you reach out to other hackers making Discord bots, or I'm sure when the PreHacks server fills up a little more, you can ask everybody, if they've had experience making Python Discord bots or JavaScript Discord bots, and which one they prefer. Because I haven't made a Discord bot myself, but I'm sure there are plenty of people out there that have made one, and so they definitely have preferences, pros and cons to each one that you might be able to find. So. But to answer your question, I think to start where you should start, probably decide, to yourself, which one you might be more comfortable with, but also maybe some Google searches as to the pros and cons of a Python Discord bot versus a JavaScript Discord bot. And also don't hesitate to reach out to other hackers, just asking in the questions chat. Which, what if other people have preferences and have experience?
I personally think that Python is a lot easier to start off with, mainly because there's some just the compatibility with the discord.py and just the easy setup that you have. It's pretty good. I know that with JavaScript you do have to import more libraries. I don't know if you guys heard of npm or node, but you would have to import those, which would be slightly different. But again, it would be the same thing. You'd have to import the libraries and requirements. But I do think that most of the documentation written by for Discord's API is mainly in Python. So I think there's a lot more people who create Discord bots in Python than there is JavaScript. So I think if you were to create one and start off with Python, it'll help a lot, because there's a lot of people that use Python and have the same issues as you in Python. So with Python, I think you're definitely more than likely going to find your answers online than JavaScript. But again, that should never, I shouldn't say that, because I don't want you to be discouraged to not try out JavaScript. I definitely think Jose made a great point that hackathons are mostly diving into the unknown and improving your skills, meeting new people, and trying to find other people that also are willing to help you build your skills. So I definitely think it's really up to you as to what you want to learn in this hackathon.